Hi, today we are going to talk about how to connect Micro800 series to Ignition using Modbus TCP. So the Micro800, specifically Micro850, the one I have here on my desk, it has a Modbus TCP communication protocol. It doesn't have Ethernet IP, and you can program it using a connected component workbench software, which is a very nice software because you can write a program using function blocks or ladder or structured text, and also you can design your HMI screens within the same platform. So I already have a project. I started with a project. The project name is Ignition Modbus, and let's just go offline here. So there is two different ways to do the Modbus communication. The first one is to use messaging function block, or you can also write it in structured text, and you can map your addresses back and forth between the device you need to be connected to. And the other one is to be a server, Modbus TCP server, which is a very nice tool that you can use in the Micro 800 series in general. So the way you do that, you go to controllers, Ethernet, and after you configure your IP address, you have to enable the Modbus TCP. It comes as a disable when you start the project for the first time. It will be disabled. You just like click on enable, then you go to Modbus mapping, right? Then you can map your anything in here. You can make an array, you can map value, or you can map a coil or a bit, right? A bit level. Um, and to do that, you need to start from scratch. You add your map, your address, and let's map this one. It's digital output. Click OK. Automatically assign your address in here. Click OK. You add a value now. There's a value that I created, which is integer. Click OK. And let's give it an address. And let's say this one is 40,010. Right. Okay, so it's connect. I'm just gonna connect to the PLC because we already have the same values. So this piece of logic that we have here has nothing to do with the mapping. Okay. It's only we're only mapping using this function here. Just like basically configure it, and you assign your mapping addresses. Uh, yeah, it's gonna take a minute. This is pretty much it from the PLC side. Um, After we finish downloading here, uploading, we're going to go through ignition configuration from the Modbus to the Micro 800. Again, this logic has nothing to do with communication between the ignition platform. To do that, you go to configuration, you go to device connection. Let's do this one. Confirm. And let's start this from scratch. So basically, you're just gonna go again device connections. You will see this create a new device, create a new device, and you will create a Modbus TCP. Click next, give it a name. Probably will have the name here because I already did it before. The IP address is the PLC IP address, which is it lives here. You go to Ethernet, pretty sure. Very simple to find 192.168.82.101. Then you click create new device. Now you are connected to the Micro 850 and you need to assign addresses. Let's go back again, show you this slowly. So after you have this connected, you go more addresses, and here you can add a row and you can add your address. And the first one is boolean. Let's call it output, and it's gonna start from zero and end at zero because it's not an array. If you have an array of six, you add here 6 or 7. Unit ID is zero, and this is a colon. Give it the address, same address that I have here in the Micro 800. Then you go create another one, which is for the integer. Let's give it the same name, value. It's also not an array, it's a holding register. And this is the tricky part. So if you give it the same address, it won't work. So if you go here in the manual, only take the last holding register, which is the last two numbers. So if it's 40,010, it will be only the 10, right? And if you have an array, you add your array start point, your end point. If you have from 40,010 to 19, it will be start at 10, end at 19. But we're only mapping one integer, right? So it has to be 0 and 0, then it will be 10, right? The address. Click save. Now it's connected again. So an easy way to confirm your tags connections, you go to quick client, OPC quick client, you expand devices, Micro850, and this is your unit ID 0, which has your two tags, right? This is your outputs and this is your value. Click here, you click here, and here to do diagnostics, you click on S, and this one is good quality. The other one is taking some time. Now it's good, and I do have value of 200 here, maybe because I have a value of 200 here, right? If I change this value to 50, go back here, now your value is 50. So you are good quality here, good quality. This is a boolean, so basically if you write to it, write 0, you write 1. I Yeah, now I do have the light on my PLC, but yeah, you can't see that, but yeah, it's true. You go here, you write 0 to it, now it's turned off. And you can use this in the project. Let me show you how you add this in the tree. So you go here, and this is the project designer or ignition designer already open. To add this in here in your tag tree or your tag browser, you go to the plus sign and you browse devices. It's within the ignition OPC UA server, and it's within the devices. This is your Micro850. So let's add the whole thing because it has also the diagnostics. Then you expand unit ID 0. This is your output, and this is your value. Your value, you can simply take this here and you display the number or a tank, for example, so the fill of the tank. And also you can, this is your output, you can take this value here and add two state toggle. Then you click here. Doesn't have a bad comment. Interesting. Now it doesn't. Okay. Maybe it's here. Hmm. Not sure why we have this error. Let's change the value of the tank and see if that's going to change or we're gonna have an error. We have it on runtime. I don't think we have this issue with the tank, so let's try to recreate this. Take the value, control. For some reason I have an issue here to write to this tag using this. However, when you do it from here, you don't have this issue. And also the value that you can adjust from here. But yeah, this is how you make a communication between a Modbus TCP from the Micro800 and Ignition Gateway. Yeah, thank you for watching, and please in your comments add like any topics you would like me to talk about. Thank you again.